All right, good morning, good morning. Coming to you live from the closet with Thought Fire, another session of Closet Talk. Love it. It's coming together. So, first week we talked about setting boundaries. Second week we talked about dependability. Today we're going to talk about, did I say weeks? Days. Sorry. Seem like weeks. Accountability. We're going to talk about today. Tomorrow we're going to talk about values. Saturday we're going to wrap it up into a nice little package, and that will finish up my segments on trust. Just to give you an idea where we're going here. So, trust is built in small moments. Don't ever forget that. And also, one of the greatest betrayals we can have in our life is when we don't show up and we betray ourselves. And as you all know, and you've heard me say, I believe in showing up. I believe in showing up for me. I believe you showing up for you. And together, showing up together is what's going to make our world a better place to be. And our own personal lives can be on a higher level. So today, we are going to talk about accountability. You say, wait, Crystal, we talked about dependability yesterday. Well, let me tell you the difference. Dependability is action showing ourselves and others that we are trustworthy. Accountability is internal. This is something that is very introspective. It's something that is, there's a mindfulness to it. There's an introspective element to it. So a lot of this process is internal. That's where the accountability is. And that's why I like to break down the account able. Are you able to take account of you and your relationships with others in that process of building trust? So, first, with yourself, let me preface this by saying I am not downplaying mental health at all. If you're in a space where you feel like you need to see somebody, I highly support it. In fact, I have spent many days of my own in the mental health world, gaining tools and all those things. So if you're in that space, honor it, show up for you, get the help you need. This process here is a personal development element. This is where you're willing to look at yourself, being aware. If you go to that place where you need support, then you get it. So first, in your life, how do you show up? How are you accountable in your life? Do you show up as a hero? Do you show up where you feel like you need that recognition? Do you feel like you need someone to validate your value? So you're looking for that recognition. Or do you show up as the victim? That life happened to you. That life shit on you, and that's just the way life's going to be because you had no control over what happened. But the power of knowing that you didn't have the control of what happened is the accountability of showing up and saying, it happened and it was this much of my life, but I have this much of my life left, and I'm choosing to not allow that moment in time in my life to dictate the rest of my life. And that is showing up. So, do you seek out recognition to feel valuable? Do you portray yourself as a hero? Do you feel like you need to, for example, hey, guess what I did this week? I went out and I did this and this and this and this, so I must be valuable. Social media perpetuates that so much. Victim, hey, guess what? This happened to me. Poor me, poor me, poor me. Yeah, what happened sucks. I'm not downplaying that at all. But the aftermath is what's going to make the magic. So, or do you show up in life and say, yeah, that happened. Yeah, I do good things. But I do them because it's things I value. I serve others. I reach out to other people because it's part of my value system. So, self-introspect. Tools you get from this, what roles do you play in your life? Second, others. This is I'm going to give 100% credit to my coach, Pearl. She taught me this, and I'm like, dang, that was good. So, this is where the hard conversations happen. A lot of people don't like confrontation, but there's so much trust that can be built in those hard conversations. So, example, at work, my boss said something. In my mind, I became the victim. And I said, oh man, he said that because of this and this and this and this. And I made up a story, right? Well, instead of me staying in that victim state, I went to him and I said, hey, so this is what I heard you say, and this is what I thought it meant. Is this what you meant? And quickly he said, oh, Crystal, no, that's not what I meant. This is what I meant. There was a level of trust built in that moment. Had I stayed in the victim mode, then that trust would never have been built, and our relationship probably would have been not as good as it is today, which I'm grateful that he was open to that conversation, which you will learn when we go back to boundaries. Some people, you are going to feel like you can have those conversations with others. No, you can't. So that's you going to them. People coming to you. So somebody comes to you and says, you are loud. First thing you say, and I am loud. Like, I'm not loud really, but if I were loud, I could deny it and say, I'm not loud. That's just you being crazy. And that's going to not do anything, right? The second thing I can do is say, you know what? I am loud, and there's times when I don't really like that characteristic, and I want to work on it a little bit so I'm appropriately loud when it's appropriate, when I can be loud and crazy at a party or whatever. It's great. Is that, can you help me be more aware of that? Because I would love to get better at that. Cha-ching. That is building trust. Marbles in the marble jar, right? So, there's another one. Third one, you may say, you know what, I'm loud, and I like that about me. So, I'm going to own it. That's on me, and that's just how I am. So, there may be things that people come to you about, and that you're like, yeah, that's just part of who I am. And I like that part of me. I like my charisma, I like my enthusiasm, my passion, all of that. Some people may not be comfortable with that, and that's about them, and they can work on whatever they need to. It's about showing up for you. And you know what? There are a lot of things that I would love some help and support with. Like, I think about my kiddos. Chewing with your mouth open. I know they don't like it. I know they don't mean to do it. So, we gently remind them and help them. They can say, I don't chew with my mouth open. My 8-year-old may say that once in a while. But, reality is, they want help. So, second tool taken away. Others, having hard conversations. Is there people in your life where you can go to them, have hard conversations, say, hey, this is what I'm feeling from you. Can you help me know if this is real or not? Or have I made up a story in my head? Then, if it is real, then you can look at it and say, I accept it. I like that about me. You know what? You're right. I need help with that. Or deny it, which you got to look at and say, is this true or is this not true? That is a whole nother segment. So, what roles do you play in your life? How are you accountable to yourself in the roles you play with your life? Others, having hard conversations. How do you show up? Do you build trust or do you deplete trust? All of these things fall into trust. Tomorrow's a big day for what I'm going to teach you. Probably the most important. It would probably go values, boundaries, accountability, and dependability. A lot of people spend most of their time on dependability when there's so much more to it. We're going to talk about foundational things. So, with that, coming to you from the closet, Thoughtfire, thanks so much for watching. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care.